there's no people out there because nobody knows this is live until now.
Well, I've put out into my channel that we're going live, so there are probably going to be like 3 people listening.
As I say, we will eventually get 3 because I think we got the 1 there, and that's about it. So yeah,
okay,
probably 1 person, which I think is mainly Hilmar, having a look. But basically, yeah, end of Essen. We're done.
Yes,
We're knackered. We're hot. We're sweaty. I am having a shower tonight. That is a given.
Really?
Yes. Of course I am. So hopefully you are too. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hot in these rooms. The AC doesn't work. And, we've had a long 4 days. But a good 4 days.
And we also have to close our windows during the night because the trains are just outside our window.
Yes, we have the trains. We have noise galore because Essen, for some reason, doesn't sleep during the night. Which is another reason to put in the notch why I go elsewhere, and I think next year I will definitely be doing that. The noise is one thing, but Premier Inn service this week is enough to put me back on my usual method of Essen, which is 10 minutes outside the city, half the cost, double the size, driving each day.
I think that might be the best thing, yes.
Yeah, it's worked a lot in the past.
And it's not like there is any good food nearby either. I mean, there are some restaurants nearby, but everything close to here is just
junk food. Yeah, which is kind of that. So, and Hexaby says it worked for us at UKGE. I do the exact same thing. I stay in Solihull, Solihull, how you pronounce it, but basically the small village near the NEC centre.
Right.
Cuts the cost down. I might have spent a little bit more this year, but that's because I stayed at a place that was part B&B and part spa. So
right.
It was done pretty well. The room was very nice and probably the best bathroom I've had in the hotel for a while. Like full on, I can lie down bath. And literally, I arrived on the day and I thought I'm just having a massive bath and I don't care. It's
right.
But yeah, I've got better ways of doing Essen things. I come to the Premier Inn to play games or I can meet people up, but then I can use the tube to get around or just drive and park somewhere on a street after, work times. So it just makes sense for me to do the drive, as long as knowing that the drive-in is even worse at that car park, get here early, which I can do.
Right. So, yeah, it looks that, getting in at 9 o'clock is late now.
Yeah.
That it used to be fine, before. Now all the trains are packed at 9 o'clock.
Oh, but that. I've just noticed something, actually. Have you noticed the stream is a lot smoother than yesterday?
Yes.
Why?
Because the hotel is empty now. There are not other people watching Netflix and YouTube and
that is true. Stuff. Yeah, the Wi-Fi is probably giving us more bandwidth this time around.
You saw it downstairs. There were no people. There were also no staff like before, but there were not a lot of guests.
That is true. Yeah. Well, like I say, I'm hoping that means we can get more people on the stream and actually, because I remember doing this on this tablet last time and it worked just fine. The audio was decent enough.
But were you on Premier Internet then?
I think it was last year because I shared with a mate of Paul's, but as I say, it might have just been better Wi-Fi at that point also, because at least the hotel was being slightly properly run at that point.
Might have been, yeah.
But either way, transport issues out the way. Say Essen is done. It was, the last 2 days since the last one. Saturday was just rammed. Yeah, it was a rammed convention, and
it started not that packed though.
Yeah, but
it started more slowly than I expected.
But that's because everybody has to walk from Hall 8 all the way through the entire thing to Hall 3.
Right, and so everything stops in Hall 3 anyway, because the hottest games were at the top of Hall 3 anyway. So
exactly, yeah. True. So it takes a while for them to filter through. But yeah, Hall 3 did get rammed as I thought it would. Not to the point where I could not move gridlock style, but it obviously just made it hot, noisy, and it didn't feel any real difference from a typical Saturday other than trying to get into demos. The rest of the hall was actually comparably quiet though for a Saturday, given the fact that most people went to Hall 3.
So how do you like the difference of the organization of the halls, compared to earlier years?
I thought I would hate it more.
Yes.
I didn't mind it too much on the basis that Saturday I was doing my own thing for like half a day anyway and the demo.
Right.
But Thursday and Friday did feel a little busier than usual, and it was good to basically be able to go, right, exclude that hall, go occasionally to another one, but mostly stay around the same place.
Right.
But given that I have to sometimes go back to my car to dump stuff in it, I still have to make the long journey all the way across to the thing. So perhaps I maybe prefer the old method of it being, and I do feel sorry for some publishers who get stuck in the wrong place and nobody goes to see them.
That is true. I mean, I thought that Osprey, had definitely the short end of the stick, being in at a wall in Hall 1, just surrounded with RPG.
Yeah, I mean,
that was like very strange decision.
It didn't make sense with some of them, and so that was it. But the layout didn't bother me as much.
No, I was surprised. I was able to, for the most part,
share this stream of it.
skip Hall 1 until I just wanted to go into Hall 1 and just walk through it and enjoy what was there. But it was not like I had to go through a lot of people just because I wanted to see 3 or 4 things in each and every hall. So that was good. Hall 2 had a little bit of mixture of things. Some of it was really, really cool. Some of it was a little bit strange.
Hall 1 I barely touched. I mean, I saw Osprey games in there at the last minute,
right
near the end. But most of the time, if I strolled through Hall 1, it was to get to Hall 3, and because it was a quieter hall, and there was just nothing in there that I cared about. It's all RPG and trading card games, so I had no interest.
The only thing that interested me was the artwork that is sometimes there and was sometimes in at the walls between Hall 5 and in Hall 4 and Hall 5 in back in the day. And I like to go and see that. I mean, I think this artwork is really, really cool. Although I would probably never buy it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it and you admire the fact that it took some genius, some creative genius to do it. But it's just not the halls I go near to. So it's kind of hit and miss with that front. But yeah, I mean, Saturday, half of it we were demoing anyway. So that was just another fun day.
But how did it go with demoing Pyramiro?
Fine. I mean, everybody who went into it, really liked it, most of which wanted to know where to buy it afterwards. And I did hear that Heidelbar sold out of it.
Right.
So they did, their partner thing. So they sold every single copy.
That is amazing.
I saw some on their stand this morning when I walked past them randomly, and I think they only had like 8 there sitting, and apparently that was the last 8. So
okay, cool.
So they sold those 8 today.
I think they sold most of Brussels also. People were very happy with the demo as well there.
Well, isn't there multiple people selling Brussels though? Because isn't there people in Hall 3 also doing Brussels?
They were also demoing Brussels, yes. Right. But they were the only ones selling Brussels. And so
fair enough.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. So so Saturday, I mean, what did I do? I think I did like 3 demos. Oh yeah, I did 3 demos because I got lucky with one. Another one was booked, and then I had booked another one. So I did 3 booked demos because you have to book demos for Saturday. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Although we'll get onto that a minute later. Because I want to run something past you. And then we just demoed. Today, I did 1 demo in the morning, and then it was buying and meetings. All my meetings that I took were scheduled for Sunday.
Okay.
Which I've never done before. I've normally done them on Thursday, Friday, and sort of scattered around. And I actually think I prefer doing it on Sunday, because for review copies, they will keep copies back for you. So they don't sell them off even if they sold out. And I found that because I got Art Society today, which had sold out long before I met Mighty Boards for that.
Yeah.
All right. People are usually cream crackered when you see them anyway, because it's a Sunday and they're quite knackered. So you just sort of have a fairly relaxing chin wag, but everyone's in a sort of good mood. It means that I can spend more Thursday and Friday getting games played so I know what to buy before it sells out,
right?
Without wasting time. And it just meant that I could say that the whole day, when I'm probably too cream crackered myself to do too many games played, I'm just talking to people. So it worked out really well. And I did get 1 demo done this morning for Evenful, which was kind of lucky. And I just think that method worked. I did mostly meetings, got a bunch of review copies, spent the last of my money, and I literally mean every last freaking coin, because it's like, right, I got 170 odd, set euros I'd still need to spend. So it's like, right, let's see. I've tried Evenfall, buy it. Pirates of Maracaibo, fine, I'll buy it. Let's just see what it's like. Found another game, bought it. I can't remember what it was. Something, a smallish game on that. Then I was getting a bunch of review copies, so they were obviously frees, or I might have had one that was discounted. I can't remember. And then I had about €50 left, like €51. Like, what on earth am I going to spend this on? Because there's no other game I wanted. So I went to Artipia to sort of contemplate, all right, I'll get the Ceres expansions that they had, and maybe the Pursuit of Happiness upgrade components, because my big box didn't have it. And I was sort of umming and ahhing it for a bit. And then the boss, the guy who I deal with before, sort of came up and said, well, we'll do a discount on those like Pursuit kinds, and then we'll do 50 for the lot or something. So great, 50, got a bunch of those, left me with €3 in coins, which I then sort of put a post up saying, I got €3 left. I'm going to go find a coffee that's worth €3. And I found the one stand that sells you coffee for €3.
Awesome.
So I literally have no euros at all. I've never done that. Like drained every last coin legitimately without chucking it away or donating it or something. Nice. So yeah, every penny of the, €400 I think I took out of the bank has been spent on games. Now, that's not to say that was all I spent on games, because there would have been maybe one or two that I think I might have spent on card when it allowed. So there may be a bit more, but there's review copies on top. So certainly, yes, the car has a decent amount of games in it for me, not as much as previous years.
Okay.
And thankfully, because Paul has taken most of his raffle stuff to other people's vans during the week, he doesn't have as much stuff in my car. So we might be able to get through customs without looking mighty suspicious.
Right. Okay. Well, that's nice. Hello, Vanessa. Good evening.
Oh, but that's it. Yeah, how many games did you punch out while I was downstairs?
Nothing. I laid on my bed and relaxed.
Fair enough.
But Johnny, I punched them all yesterday.
I'm looking forward to a haul vid. I suppose I could do that because I couldn't do a podcast obviously this weekend because of this, and I don't want to just rush out another podcast. So I could just do one Essen haul vid. Yeah, like a post wrap up. Because I'm already doing a post wrap up stream on Paul's channel tomorrow when we get back.
I'm actually planning on my own channel, Bortspiel _is, by the way, for people who are interested in
was it Bordspiel?
BORDSPIL _is. It's Bortspiel IS.
Right, I was going to say spelling it will help.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's literally just created it.
I literally created it. I was able to double my followers twice in the same day. That is something that
go sub to his channel as well as I get it on the go.
But the only problem with it is it's not a problem, but it is in Icelandic. So
is it?
Yes, because I'm doing things in Icelandic. I mean, that is the whole reason for doing it. One more guy babbling in English about board games is.
I mean, that must be like one of the most niche areas of a board game channel in fully Icelandic. It's good to fill a niche.
Yeah, I mean,
that could really get your face known around Iceland, though.
Well, my face is quite known around Iceland anyway.
Sure.
There are only about maybe 300, 400 people who are, really into gaming.
Well, I'll tell you what, sub to his channel, but just know you won't be able to understand a thing. There you go.
And I'm planning to do a whole video probably Wednesday. I will schedule it tomorrow when I get back. Yeah. I'm going to Lille tomorrow on a train. And so when I will be setting up, I will schedule the whole video. Yeah. Probably Wednesday.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Let's see. Question first. Actually, I'm looking forward to a whole bit. Good. What's the best things to Donic Essen? What? Oh, what's the best things to do in Essen?
Yeah.
Right, that was what I buy games, look for out of print games, discounted novelties to play. I mean, it is a trade fair. Yes. Open gaming is not what you go to Essen for. You play a bit in the hotels afterwards, but that's it. I don't look for discounted games because, frankly, discounted games don't exist at Essen unless you go to a couple of specific booths that sell nothing but, frankly, rubbish. A
lot of German games in German.
Oh, yeah. Or if you know German, you can get some discounts.
But I will share you a trick on getting out-of-print games that are technically used. Not all of them have even been unwrapped though.
Is this one of those auction things, or whatever it is? A trade.
It's called non-shipping auction trade.
Right.
It goes off. It starts off. Sorry, about middle of August and runs until about a week before Essen.
Right.
There were 13,000 entries
Nice.
in this auction trade this year.
Yeah.
Which is definitely the peak it has ever been.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, games are in different shape, of course, and all of that, and a lot of them are in different languages: German, Dutch, French.
So is it basically just like a sort of auction meet, and then as soon as you win what you win, you just come to Essen and get it?
Yes,
right.
that is the thing. And every day, well, at least every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 3:00, Hall 7 is actually filled with people.
Is that what that was? I kept seeing groups
Yes.
of people with banners, and I thought, is this like a tour guide?
No, these are people who have sold their games,
Right.
and the people with the signs are trying to
get them
get them to the people who
I
are.
wonder what they were. I thought, like, who's doing tour guides here, or who came here as a group where somebody has to chaperone them? I thought that was weird. All right, that answers that like majorly.
But I will teach you. I will teach you another trick. If you demo, like I did on, or work in a booth, try to get the shifts that are around 3:00, because then you can say, "I'm sorry, I cannot come to the Hall 7 at 3:00. Could you maybe drop by my booth and drop it off?" And everybody did. So
that's not a tip for out-of-print games. That's just you being lazy and getting someone else to deliver for you. That's just you being lazy. That's got nothing to do with getting the out-of-print games. You still get the games one way or the other.
Yes.
You just didn't have to walk to halls.
Exactly. I didn't have to spend precious time hunting down.
It's not called the board game no Essen, no shipping, no walking auction. It's like
well, for me it was.
Big spender, I would say. But yeah, I mean, best things to do at Essen is basically buy games, play in demos, and see people, because you see so many more people than you do at any other convention around here, because a lot of people congregate there. That's pretty much the deal. I see a lot of publishers there face to face that I do not see at other conventions, even UK Games Expo to some extent. Your fave buy? I mean, buy.
Take it to ride. Yes, mine. The Legacy game, for sure.
Yeah, you've done that one. I'm going to wait till November when it hits retail. And buy, I mean, to be fair, Sweet Mess I have now played 3 times since
nice.
What was it? Because I demoed it full, then taught it the same night when I said this is great, and I've just played it downstairs. That's the one game I've played the most so far this season.
Yeah.
And I technically did buy it, so I suppose that is it, because others I've just demoed and bought. So I can't really say, oh yeah, this is the most amazing thing ever. And most of the ones that I'm like, oh yeah, this game's going to be absolutely sound, were demos. So, I haven't quite got to that stage yet. Big spender. Yes, I did get Forest Shuffle. Not played it, but it's in the car, so that's a guaranteed. It's sold out, the English version.
Yeah.
Notice that it's sold out. Need more Icelandic creators anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we need at least the first. I don't know how many Icelandic creators you have in board games. Probably not very many, but
no, there is one channel doing podcasts. Four guys doing dad jokes and podcast all in Icelandic.
Dad jokes.
The first 30 minutes of them is just rambling with bad puns and dad jokes.
Dad jokes are overrated, and I can say that because James isn't in the chat, so I ain't gonna worry about that.
Okay.
The only Icelandic gamer I knew. Icelandic is a synonym for fictional international puzzlers league, because someone years ago wrote a puzzle in verse based on an errand at the Icelandic zoo. Sorry, what? I don't quite get what Elaine is trying to say there. Does that make even the remotest sense to you? I'm sorry, Elaine, I'm not quite sure what you mean.
No,
if he doesn't understand it, I ain't gonna understand it.
Puzzle in verse.
What is an eland?
Eland at the Icelandic zoo.
What is an eland?
We don't even have zoo. We have one small petting zoo, and we used to have an aquarium back in the day where it was the most sorry ass setup of anything, and it was just devastating for the animals.
Oh god! As soon as I would say, I mean, great to see Kabuki Kid in. Hello,
Kabuki Kid.
And another guy's turned up, a Mr. James. We've not said anything about James at all this chat in the last 5 minutes, have we? No, we haven't, so we're good. Yeah, it's fine. Totally didn't mention your name, and oh, you did. I'm here and I've heard that, Luke. Oh, whoops. Dang it. And eland isn't a kind of antelope.
Okay.
Do you have antelope in Iceland?
No.
I have no idea then. Or they reindeer.
We have reindeer, but yeah.
Ains, but nice word. All right, okay. All right, so one thing. All right, first topic I want to sort of get off my chest now. I observed this morning, and I felt kind of sorry for the woman, and it kind of just made me think. We get in early as press and exhibitors. Okay, the show doesn't open until 10. But exhibitors and press, particularly those who are not on demos, can still wander around, buy stuff, and jump into demos earlier than a member of the general public can. When I went to Evenful this morning to try and demo it, I saw some people already playing the German one, and the English one was already in motion. Like somebody had gone in like literally an hour before the show had started to demo it. I hadn't realized that two people sitting next to the table were people waiting for their two friends and camping that one. So we already had one group demoing it and another group waiting. And this was at like half hour before the show started.
Okay.
The long story short, the designer who didn't reveal he was a designer at the time very nicely swapped the German and English decks out on the other one and got me into a demo on that one. So I was like, fantastic. Really great guy. But a woman that turned up like literally pretty much a minute after 10 or something like that, only to then realize, when she tried to get in, like two slightly rudish blokes, frankly, basically saying, oh yeah, we've got this before, and somebody, from the publisher DLP had to sort of let her know that. And she basically said, like, I thought the show only just opened like just now or something, and walked off. And I sort of felt bad for her because it's like, yeah, you are a member of the general public. The show has literally just opened and people have already double camped your game. And you had no way to deal with it just because you weren't an exhibitor or thing. And it kind of sort of made me think, is it a good thing that we can do that? Because it maybe I had that sort of, are we the bad guys moment? Like from the movies? Because I've done that. I'll go, if I'm not exhibiting, I go in early, do a bit of shopping, and then I think, what's the first demo I want to do? Right, I'm going to sit near that, and I'm going to grab the first sign-in for a Apery, like I did, or get the first demo, and I'm technically denying somebody from the general public a chance to demo the game purely because, in my case, press, you could argue maybe that's a perk of doing press, but exhibitor, I don't know. You're there as a volunteer now, but to be able to, on your day off, just nab all the stuff so that the public can't, I don't know, is it right that we can do that? Because I hate beach chair, like deck chair camping. Like
yeah. That's what. Yeah, now I understand what you meant with that Facebook comment. Beach chair, you mean like going the night before and coat your beach chair with a towel to reserve it?
Yeah, because I hate that. But then at conventions, you get the people who literally dump their bags near a table, a big table, and then disappear for dinner. And it's like, and people will think, well, can I take the table? Because there's like bags near around it. And it's like, in my opinion, yes, you left the table. I don't care if your bag's near it. You're not on it. So don't camp it. But people try to do that.
Right.
And I don't know, are we, is it a good thing that we can do that? Because I feel like we are getting in the way of the public who, to be there, paid to go there just like anybody else.
Right. There are, I have mixed feelings. I think,
get your thoughts in the comments, chat, on this one.
Definitely, please, because I'm swinging both ways in this. At one point, if there is one demo table available, camping out or not, there are 4 chairs for 70,000 people.
Yeah.
So, the odds of doing that anyway, just after she came in, if somebody was able to run from another distance
faster than
her, and let's just be honest.
Really, I do wish demos would put more than one table for massive games that they know are going to fill up.
I did, and I have to open up because I'm pronouncing this wrong all the time. So I just did Ezra and Nehemiah.
Oh, at the Garfield games, yeah.
Yes, on Saturday. So I came in pretty late. So I was just walking through hall 4 when they opened the door.
Yeah.
So I had to rush, and I'm fat, so I don't move very fast.
Okay.
So anyway, I got in to Garfield Games at 10:01. There were 3 people at the table.
Yeah.
And he had already started the teach. I was able to be the 4th. Yeah. He just, backtracked just a little bit.
And to be fair, when I did Scholars the other day, I got there quite early so I could chat to them. And I was the first one in the Scholars. It was long before the opening time, before 2 or 3 others showed up to jump in.
Right. So, I don't know. What does chat say?
Well, they haven't got round to, only one did. I mean, Alex Rivera. I met Luke today at Sit Down Showroom in Hilmar in the queue, waiting for TTR Legends of the West. Yeah,
right, Alex. Hey, Alex.
Alex from Mexico.
Yes.
Right, I was going to say, he came out of the room that I went to meet Sit Down Games in, and then, revealed that, there's a fair amount of people in Mexico who know you. And it's like, I'm surprised that Mexico is a place that my channel would reach that widely. But yeah, I didn't realize he'd gone and found you as well.
No, yeah, that was really, it was really funny. So it was, hey Alex, it was so nice meeting you, and I actually met him again. So,
right, okay,
yeah,
no, it was good to see you both. So James says, I would say it's just a perk of the job, but it's never happened to me where I've missed out on a demo because someone had got there before con opened. And yeah, you damn board game elites, you privileging Shakespeare.
Elite, yes, I'm part of the elite.
I mean, I have to admit, I was in sort of 2 minds about it, because on the one hand, I do feel sorry for them.
Yes.
On the other hand, I do work as press, and it is a bit of a contract, and it's like, you know what, some perks of the trade are nice. You could argue that exhibitors also deserve a little perk of the trade, but then there's usually other reasons why they're there and what other perks they're getting. But it does, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, there's only so many tables and you have thousands and thousands of people, so you can't please everybody.
Right.
I think it's more just the idea that we can camp before the thing starts or something. But then I guess, what else can you do? You can't.
There are some things that I actually like to see. One of it was Mindclash. Mindclash had sign-up sheet, and the only pre-booking for the next day was late in the afternoon on the day before
for 10
o'clock, so they could set up and be ready at 10 o'clock.
Which I did not know, because after I booked Appery, I ran to the Mindclash things thinking, can I get in on a good time for that one if I'm quick enough?
Right.
Got there, knew that I was like 16th in the queue or something like that, and I thought, well, a lot of these people are here to play Voidfall, so as long as more than 12 here aren't here to play Septimer, I'm all right, probably. And then I got there and all the 10 o'clocks were used up, and I thought, wait a minute, there was no way that they did, especially when we went for others. And then she revealed to me, we opened it up the day before, and it's like, wish I'd known that, but never mind, I'm getting Septimer next week, I don't mind, good day. But yeah, that was slightly annoying waiting in the queue for that one. But
actually, one of the coolest things that I've seen, because sometimes it's really hard to see, who is lurking, who is waiting, all of that. I think Galactic Cruise had it nailed down.
Well, that one didn't have a sign-up sheet.
No, but they had another thing. I'm not sure if you saw. That is, behind the seats that were facing the crowd, or you back to the crowd,
right,
had axes on the floor, 4 axes. So if you were standing on an axe, you had reserved your spot for the next demo.
I don't know if they were there on the.
No, they told me
they were there all weekend.
All weekend.
I did not notice any axes. I was not looking at the floor.
Right. They told me the gaming wizard told me that. And
speaking of which, Gaming Wizard on Instagram, that's the guy I was talking about who did the fantastic Drown the Games demo. I brain farted the other night about it. I couldn't remember his name. Yeah. Finally remembered after I played games with him on a Saturday night. It's like, Board Game Wizard or something, or Board Gaming Wizard on Instagram. Yeah.
Right. He is amazing. But anyway, they did that, and I like that, because then that that
it's clear as day.
It's clear as a day, and also they said, no matter what, we're playing a long game. They told me that Galactic Cruise with 4 new players and everything will last a little bit over 4 hours, the first play. it will,
Possibly. I mean, they usually do with that one, but yeah.
It's like every Lacerta game. I mean, it takes a long time to play.
We only did an hour's worth of stuff. So
it was an hour and a half with Teach.
Yes.
And they had a hard limit on 90 minutes. We're done. Next in.
Yeah.
And that is cool because remember before, sometimes people camped out and they played for 3 hours, one game.
Yeah, that's the thing, because you've got to do hard limits because some publishers do not impose limits. And you can see them as it's just like, seriously, it's like someone cranked the guy up again because they run out of juice during their game and they just take forever. I just don't understand how some publishers can do this. It should be simple. It's like, have a clear space to queue if you reserved.
Yeah.
Hard limit on the game. I don't care if you finished it or not. You either set that your game is only going on for so many rounds generally, or you set a time limit, or both, frankly. Right. Have enough tables, not just one, for your major game.
That is spatial issues. Like for Galactic Cruise, they had a really, really, really small booth.
Some small publisher selling, like making some weird prototype called, what was it? The Civilization one or something. I think it was a prototype of a Civ game. I can't remember what it was called.
You made Path to Civilization?
No. It was like 2 words. I think it was opposite the Stonemaier booth.
Right.
But some people were mentioning it. But the thing is, that had 3 tables for their thing, right? Smallish tables and stuff like that. But if they can manage 3 tables for a game, why can't anybody else? And like I said, you should have bare minimum 2 tables for your hot game, even if space is an issue, because that is the game that... and you can see them on some. It's like, we got 2 for this one, 2 for this one, we got 1 for this and 1 for this. And it's like, look, those ones that you're doing 1 for, nobody wants to play them. People want to play your 2 hot games. So make those the thing.
Yeah.
And with demos that they should be like that, but a lot of publishers do not do that. And fair play to Drander, they know how to do it properly.
They did.
What do we got? So we got the elites. Your channel reaches the Americas pretty easy. It's called the internet. Yeah, white. Cheeky kid. All right. It's nice to have a perk, but at the same time, I feel I'm also busy trying to get content. It feels like you're working. Well, yeah, certainly as press.
Yeah.
From Hexy Beast, that's the thing. Grumble. Yep.
I would say it's just a perk of the job, but it never happened to me where I missed out on a demo because someone had got there before a con opened. That is true, James. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got in, 9:30 this morning. I had to work the Dice Tower booth at 11, so I wasn't able to get Galactic Cruise before that.
No.
So I went straight after my shift there. Mm-hmm. I had to wait 15 minutes, and there was 1 spot left.
You were fortunate. I mean, I got even more lucky because I thought, I wonder if I Galactic Cruise, and just before he was about to start to teach, they said they're full at the moment, come back in about an hour. So I timed it roughly about an hour, just randomly. I didn't realize they were going to stick close to an hour. And when I turned up, 3 others were about to sit down, and thankfully there was a full slot. Like, I got super lucky.
Right, that was the same for me. Yeah. So let's then talk a little bit about Galactic Cruise.
What, as a game?
Yes.
Let's just wrap up these ones. Okay. First. Yeah, sign up at Mindclash was even worse. Yeah, 10 a.m. the whole day was basically already booked up. Yeah, because they've pre-booked the 10 a.m.s, and then everybody else who's queued is then booked up the whole day.
Becky, shut your mouth.
Say what?
Here,
Crumble.
Guðberg Haraldsson, yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah. So my followers are here too. Or my follower.
Reminds me of back in the day in video arcades where you put your quarter on a video game cabinet, indicating that you had next. Yeah, you ever remember that?
Mm.
Yeah, that classic thing. It's like, I've got it. And pool tables.
Yeah.
You go to the pub. Does the buzz from the horse distract you from playing demos, especially Thinky Euros? Not really. Your hearing needs to be on point a little bit to get over the noise. But other than that, you zone out the rest of the horse's white noise.
So I have both ADD and
I think we're
Asperger's. And
the last comment I mentioned. This is it for comments for that question, was it?
Okay.
Elaine's. I wonder if there was a good system. Origins Game Fest had online sign up and everything sold out in hours, except Train Gamers of America games because they will print and play to infinity. Yeah, I mean, I would hate that putting it online, because you would just have servers breaking down with everybody signing up, and anybody who doesn't use the internet or isn't aware of it would lose out.
Right. No, I think that is a horrible system.
If Essen did it would break the convention.
Yeah, I think so. And also, I mean, people will sign up and it's just like pre-orders and then they won't show up and there's a lot of it is almost you have to just show up or
Definitely no. So what question have we got here? Mention that. Greetings from Bosnia. What are some of the best value for money games you have encountered there? Well, if I could have gotten the Kozu dice, that would have been a thing. But I mean, value for money. I hate to keep going back to Sweet Mess, but for €50, that's a pretty good box of stuff.
Right. But you skipped this. I was answering this, and you jumped in. No, I didn't answer that. You stopped me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, because I have both ADD and Asperger's. So,
This is going back to the whole, does the buzz noise.
The buzz noise. And that's the thing. Sometimes it bothers me, but this Essen, it actually has been very good to zone that out. And I have been, being laser focused on being able to play the game.
Yeah. This is what I mean about drowning it out as white noise. Like if I'm sitting down, I'm listening to the rules, I'm looking at the cards, I'm having to go whatever is going on. I mean, somebody has to tap me on the shoulder to realize, oh, there you are.
Yeah.
I won't notice anyone.
Yeah, no, it was better than often before.
Love that, but value for money. I mean, I mentioned Sweet Mess. I suppose anything from Devir Games is pretty good value. I mean, whether you like the games or not, €30 for a reasonably meaty midweight game in a small box is not bad value.
Right. Well, I'm not going to mention my Kingdom Builder buy that I got.
But that's not value for money. You got that, and that's
what I mean. That is not a very good value for money. €200 for a base.
Yeah, just because you offset it. Yeah, just because you offset it with reimbursed shipping costs. Doesn't make it
no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I was being cheeky. Best value for money. I mean, salt, pepper.
I haven't played that one, but that's the one that sort of folds out into its own.
Yeah, it was €17 with the expansion, so that's pretty good value for money.
I mean, I've no idea. I've not played the game, but isn't that a small box like an Oink game or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
could be. I mean,
I did get the tequila. That was like €30.
Remember that? White Castle was €30. Sweet Mess with all its deluxe stuff that you've seen my photos with that page again. That's only 50, and most games are way more than that.
Right.
The Gosu dice or whatever it's called, that really good dice trick taker that I played the other day. I think that was selling for €20. But then it is a bunch of dice. I mean, literally, I can create the game myself while waiting for it to sell on retail. So I don't. As much as I think it's a fantastic game, I think saying value for money is probably a bit of a stretch. I mean, it probably is Sweet Mess. I mean, most games of any weight and components now will cost like 75 plus.
Right.
For that to cost 50, 60 with a playmat, that's the deluxe version.
Yeah, I totally agree. If I didn't have run out of space, I would have actually got that.
The hard limit on time rounds is by far the smartest way to do it. Yeah, we agree on that. Civolution, I did not play it because it is a Stefan Feld game, so I wouldn't have gone near it with a barge pole, even though I did get carted around there with Paul when Stefan Feld was nearby.
I didn't see that. I wasn't
the very bottom of Hall 3.
Okay,
practically next to that entrance.
Okay, yeah. So no, I missed that. It was on my list, but there were just too many things on my list, and I decided then to just wing it at the end. I just wandered around and I sat down and I enjoyed a lot of things. And
I wouldn't go near it, obviously, with a barge pole, but I heard 2 or 3 people say that they had played it, and during the game, they obviously like Stefan Feld games, but they were basically saying that during the game they were thinking, "Can you take my money now, please?" But it wasn't there on sale. So, I think it's a case of if you're a Feld fan, you're going to love it. Okay. If you're not, it's not going to suddenly convert you.
Right.
But then that's kind of the case with all his games.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear a Feld fan say what are the bad Feld games. Let's see, we've heard that one. Did you Did you play board games with Isaac, as in Isaac Childress as in the guy downstairs who was teaching Age of Innovation to a bunch of people? But no, I mean, he's teaching Age of Innovation right now downstairs to 3 other people.
Okay.
But I wasn't in that game.
No.
So I don't know why him specifically, that was named. But did you get to play Apparie? Was it good? Oh, yes, that one. I did an Instagram post on this, first impressions, that. Yes, I did. One of the Saturday demos was me camping outside the sign-up sheet to get a 1 p.m. slot that would perfectly line me up before we had to go to demo stuff. Because I knew it would be 90 minutes. I have played it. It's theme, whatever. Doesn't matter. Space bees, you're building a hive, who the hell cares? Component quality, pretty good. It's standard Stonemaier fare. Right. You've got some rubber, like, molded rocket ship things that are technically your bees. And there's a half-decent queen bee miniature that's literally there just to move as a placeholder to say where you've explored in space. Okay. But that's it. But other than that, the theme means nothing. It is a worker placement game that is very much like most worker placement games, except the slight tweak, which we have seen before, is you put your workers out, there's 4 levels to them, they do X based on the level of the bee, and if someone kicks you off a space, it goes back to your hive and levels up. Okay. Right. Or you can retrieve all your workers and level them all up at the same time, but that's a slow tempo hit to your game. Other than that, what you do is kind of standard. You get tiles which can get you some resources or points or some special ability. You can put them on your board. You can, go convert resources from X into Y or create your own conversion that people can use. You can get more workers. You can get these cards, which are basically, a one-off ability or potential game end scoring. And the exploration is literally just a grid where you move the queen bee around, it flips a tile over and tells you what's on it, big whoop. But it's fine. It's an okay game, but there's nothing really that unique about it. The theme is irrelevant. And honestly, it still has some of the Stonemaier tropes. And one of the big stone trope is balance is problematic. Again, as if that's not a surprise. There are actions that you can only do with a level 4B. They get you a special bonus if you do that action with a 4B. Some of them are way too inconsequential or underpowered compared to the main thing that you use a 4B for, which is to pay honey, a resource, to get a tile that gives you a significant amount of endgame scoring. And so at one point, I was left with a thing of, right, I can take it to these 3 places. One gets me 3 points flat on the action. Another lets me flip my original home tile over, which equated to 4 points. It just made the point scoring a little bit tiny better. Or I can stick it on the thing to get a hex tile, which would get me somewhere within 16 and 20. Wow. But based on the fact that I've met that condition several times. But you would not send your level 4Bs to these other actions if you know it is critical to get endgame scoring via it. And what makes it worse is that you don't have control over the level 4Bs. If someone bumps you off a spot, you can't tell when that's going to happen. And once someone bumps off your level 4B, it hibernates, goes back out of supply, and you have to get it at level 1 and get it back up to 4 again. So you're only going to have these level 4Bs maybe 3 or 4 times in the game max. So if you wasted them on these other lesser actions, it's bad. And I had a situation where literally at one point, because I'd done them on other actions, I was in the thing of, if I get those scoring tiles there, I'll do these, I'll get a lot of points. But I can't go to them because I don't have a level 4B. There's no way to raise the level temporarily or anything like that unless you get a lucky card from the deck that lets you do it, which one person did. Okay. So I'm literally, for the last few turns of our demo, trying to sort out it. It's fine. It's okay. At best, I'd give it a 6. But, it's slightly more preferable to Expeditions. But again, it's an overhyped game. Don't pay €90 for it like Essen like most did. And honestly, I think this game will be forgotten in no time.
Yeah, I took a look at it. I actually did also watch Rodney Smith, watch it played.
Cheers, Vanessa.
And it was,
he's done a watch it played,
Yeah, so literally what I thought was, Stonemaier games pretty easily come to Iceland. I'm not going to waste my space on a big box, for a game that will appear in my friendly local game store a week later So no, thank you.
It's cheaper to get it
I
online.
might play it, and I will most likely play it. But
give it a play. But there's just nothing in it that's
right. Exactly.
You've got Queen favor tracks that are only lucrative in points if you go all the way with it. But if you do that, you've probably tanked the rest of your game. It's another one of these games that feels rushed. I mean, the fact that they got announced so close to Essen was just to drive hype. There was no other reason for that to happen because it was clearly ready beforehand. It was a business tactic.
Yep.
And that already made me suspicious.
That all the time.
It's, like I say, it's a forgettable game. It's going to be an okay-ish one from them, but not worth the hype. Calm down, people. All right.
Becky is simply here for me. That is true.
I'm a simp for Hilmar.
Yeah.
Yep. Already, he's barely been in the business for a few days or something. Already, you got a simp.
Well, in the YouTube, I've been around for a few years.
You've been around the block, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I actually enjoy playing with noise in the background. I sometimes play with music on there's I think it's just called Board Game Music. It's a YouTube channel that literally just has a picture of the game, nice color, and about 3 hours worth of various tunes, instrumental, those songs suited to the game. It's just a calm little channel, about 7,000 subs. But man, I love putting it on when I'm playing something like Lost Ruins of Arnak or Spirit Island or something, stuff like that. I like. Did you find any hidden gems? Oh hell yes. Yeah, and I don't mean Sweet Mess.
No, you talked about that dice tricky picking game.
Yeah, and the Nakosu dice or something like that. Yeah, like the CEO of that thing purposely only brings about 200 copies to Essen, and he knows this.
Hidden gems. The only game that I want to mention is a game that I demoed today. It's a hidden gem. It was on Kickstarter. It just fulfilled just before I got here, so I wasn't able to play it before I came. So I got a quick demo, and actually it was a demo from Conor McGoy's daughters, a 14-year-old and a 7-year-old, and they did an awesome job teaching the game. And that is
the daughters were teaching you?
Yes.
A 7-year-old was teaching
A 7-year-old and a 14-year-old were teaching me.
Where was this?
Look, Inside Out games.
Really?
Yes.
I never saw anybody that looked that young there.
No, they were really sweet, and I
saw some young ladies there.
Yeah,
I'm single, I'm allowed to, but I mean, it's like I did not see a 14-year-old and a 7-year-old there.
No, well, you didn't look closely enough for that, though. I mean, they were there and they taught me the game. So if you like, it's a roll and write with special twists about draft and write records.
Oh, I've seen a cover for this.
Right.
It was another roll and write. So
right. It's a music themed board roll and write game.
Yeah.
And it works. It's thematic. What you do on your turn is thematic. And it's a drafting style game, 7 Wonders style. Mm-hmm. Everybody gets a card, you play one card, and you shift your cards clockwise and counterclockwise. Mm-hmm. 5 cards, you play 4 each round, you discard the last card, you play until either you have scored 6
points.
6 goals,
right?
Or you have crossed out 5, because you've got so many negative points.
So it mechanically was sound. It wasn't just the fact that it was designed by kids that got it.
No, it wasn't designed by kids. It was just taught by kids.
Oh, right.
Yeah. No. It's designed by an adult.
I wonder. I mean, family business.
So what you do is that each card you're trying to make a band. You have 1 singer. You have 4 band members. You have 3 composers and 4 in the crew. Being a roadie myself, 4 in crew is not enough when you go on tour, but that's another story. So you will have.
I'm just going to find the title of that dice game because I can't pronounce it.
You have a circle with a number on it, and then 4 different colors of symbols that you then fill in on your sheet with colored pencils. And you're trying to get synergy between the colors.
All right. I mean, fair enough. It sounds all right. Yeah.
If you like roll and rides, I mean, my girlfriend loves roll and rides. So this is going to be yet another game that we will play at home a lot.
I mean, I'll give it a look.
I liked it.
I usually zone out on the genre, but I'll keep a lookout for it though. As I say, Nokosu Dice was the name of it, which I can construct literally out of a deck of cards from Stick 'em Up and some dice. But it's a simple trick taker. It won't take long to explain it. It's trick taking with the normal sense of play suit, high card wins, follow suit and that. But you have a bunch of dice that you roll out of a bag. All these like 4 of several colored dice. You get one at random at the start, but draft the rest from a big pile. One is left over at the end, and you have 4 dice on your board in front of you. So you've got the 2 yellow in the center of the board. There is a hierarchy for trumps, which is basically the same color and number as ultimate trump. Like a 2 yellow gets played. Then it'll be same number, then same color, then normal rules, right? But the idea is that you've got a few cards in your hand that you'll play as normally, but you can also play the dice from in front of you as if they were cards. So you can see slight public information to everybody that I know you've got a 3 blue over there, you've got a 4 green, that kind of thing. So you can see whether somebody's holding on to trump dice in front of them and that. But the trick is with this is scoring wise, basically you keep playing until all your cards are used up and only one of your dice is left, which you are not allowed to play. That die that is left in front of you is the amount of tricks that you are trying to win for that round in order to score points. You'll get a point for every trick, but you get 10 points if you meet your target for every player who didn't meet their target.
Okay.
So if 4 other players don't meet the target left by their low dice, you'll get like 40 odd points plus your trick. And you play through 5 rounds of this. But having the dice there adds a lot of tactical elements of seeing what other people have got, what they could play, goading them into place. I mean, I'm going to play my highest blue card. You've got 2 super 1s in front of you, 1 blue trumps. Are you going to play them if I play my high one? Because if you don't, I'm winning this trick. There's elements of that. But I love the fact that with the 4 dice in front of you, you can kind of think, well, I reckon I'll get about 5 tricks. This will be good. Oh, it's not going too well. Put the 5 in this round. All right, now I only got to go in 3. It's still not going well. I'll flick in that one. I can do 2, just about 2, and you're still gunning for that. But on top of this, you've also got a couple of black dice you can take that are faceless that mean you will lose the trick. And if you do what I love to do in games, which is the shoot my own tactic of get 0 tricks, you get even more bonus points. And I managed to do it. But it sounds simple, and I can literally construct it out of spare parts.
Okay.
But I just thought it was one of the cleverest twists on trick-taking that I had seen. And trick-taking, like roll and write, I'll admit, as much as I love trick-taking games, is a bloated genre. It's difficult to do unique ones. This felt unique. If it comes out on retail soon, which I hear it will, I am buying this stat. But until then, I am going to get a copy of Stick'em, if I can find it, get some dice, and I'm going to construct this game before GridCon. So it will be pretty sweet. Anyway, I think we've spent a long time on that one. So let's see. First impressions on Nucleum or Evacuation. None of us have played Evacuation yet.
No.
I have played the Nucleum. Again, on Instagram, I've given my thoughts on that. I played Paul Grogan's scripted demo, so not a full game of it. And I thought it was okay. Well, I liked it, all right. Yeah, people were sort of thinking, oh, look, Luke's going to hate this game, and I certainly made that a running joke. But no, I liked it okay from what I've played.
Yeah, I liked it okay too. I'm looking forward to being able to play it fully and see how the first 5 rounds go, and if we need that to be scripted all the time in order to get the game going. So I don't know, but I like the game. It is in my bag, so
it borrows. Yeah, I've got a review copy as well. It borrows from Brass and Barrage, but it is not like a lot. It borrows. It mainly borrows the good elements from both, and honestly, it's more that it doesn't borrow certain things from Barrage. The only thing it really borrows from Barrage is the theme. You're generating electricity for things. That's pretty much all it does. The meanness of Barrage is not in this game.
There's
Thank
no
God.
There's no. I didn't catch any meanness.
There's no negative interaction in it. No. If anything, you can assist. Brass, it borrows the whole, I'm creating networks over the board in order to build buildings and bits, and I've got 3 different types of buildings, but you can build them in any order. There's no tier system for it, like in Brass. You are technically making rail links, but again, you can build them in stages, unlike Brass.
And you can, cooperatively make the train links
work, so that you both get the benefits, which is cool. But what I did like is that instead of the random cards, which I don't like from Brass, I need to do this critical element over here, otherwise I lose. Oh, look, I didn't draw the Birmingham card, I'm screwed. But this one has action tiles with 2 actions on them that are multi-use. You either play them as action tiles for the actions, or you flip them over, build it as a train, or put it like as a train track to connect the links and get the actions there and then. But it's still an alternate use for the thing, because if you put it down as a rail link, you've lost the action tile. It works, but you get to decide what action tiles you have. You start with the set amount, and then you can buy more of them. I don't have to draw them. Lucky, I have them all available, and if I want a specific tile and it's there, I can go get it.
Right.
None of this random draw nonsense. So there's some stuff I like about it, but there was 2 bits I was worried about, which I need to play a full game of. Firstly, it did feel like that I have a feeling this is the game that if you start off badly, you're screwed. Like, this is going to be a pseudo knockout game.
Yeah.
I mean, the way it was scripted had me down in the bottom of the board, away from everybody else, doing my own thing. And yeah, I was doing my own thing down there, but it never felt like I was going to get any endgame points, because everybody who was able to assist each other was getting all the achievement stars that you need, which is the only way you get significant endgame scoring points. You get the achievement stars, they convert into this points track that gets you a load of stuff. And the main way to get them is to energize. So this is what it borrows from Barrage. The whole game is about energizing. Just like in Barrage, the whole game is about generating electricity. And some people will think, well, how's that a bad thing? I want to be able to do like weird strategies in games. And if the whole premise of Nucleum is purely you must generate electricity for stuff or else, that's going to limit the sort of strategies of variable play that I feel that you're going to be able to do with the game. At thought, it could be wrong. But that's just what I thought, because I was down the bottom, not able to energize anything, I had like a negative point thing for not being able to generate any achievement stars, whereas everybody else could do neutral ones or their own buildings fine.
Okay.
And it's like, well, if I have to energize, is my setup going to be that much different from others? I don't know. I need to play a full game to find out. But that was just a slight worry. But yeah, I mean, I liked it fine. I don't think it's ever going to be game of the year or even top 10 of my year, frankly. But to say that there's a chance I would probably play it if it was on the table is a damn sight better than what I'd say about Brass and Barrage. So, fair play.
Right.
You liked it fine, though, yeah.
I did like it fine, but it's not, like I'm, can't sleep until I get it back on the table or anything.
There were a few people like that. They couldn't wait before they went back to the hotel and played it. It's like, I mean, I can see why people would find it a really, really awesome Euro, but for me, it's probably going to be one that I like, but I cannot see it being one that I'm gagging to play compared to some other Euros.
Right.
I mean, the theme, whatever. I construct these buildings and generate electricity. Yay!
I will play it gladly at GridCon, and
Yeah, I've got to play it before GridCon for sure and get it done.
Yep.
Right. I got even full just as an impression. The designer sold me on the game. Yeah, the designer was very nice. Thoughts on it? Comparing it to Race for the Galaxy is a complete lie. It's an engine builder. Yeah, that's the only similarity.
Okay.
It's its own card system. The cards you draw can be given in for resources. It's a typical engine builder of whole resources for points and that. But the card system, you have like 2 sets of workers. You've got 2 levels of cards, the inner circle and outer circle. You have to sort of put things in your outer circle and then transfer them into the inner circle and that. Some of them have got action spaces to do cool stuff. But your top workers can only go to the outer circle or on these free public boards, the witches. The elders can only go on stuff in your inner circle. There are cards that you can play as multi-use for either endgame scoring or their specialist ability. You've got rituals that can go on cards with different things that you can upgrade them with. It's hard to describe all the mechanics in it, but I found it fun. It looks gorgeous because it's got the artist from Revive on it.
Right.
And unlike Revive, they actually use the art for something good. In Revive, you don't see any art.
Right.
It's like a little bit of art on some cards and that's it. The board looks basic. But this Evenful has this guy's art plastered all over the stuff and it looks gorgeous.
I looked at the game and I was like,
whatever.
I walked away. It was, I got a 30-second, rundown, and I was like,
you've got to play
whatever.
It.
Maybe that is true.
Yeah, I admit when you
excite me.
When you hear the brief and look at it, you're like, whatever. Playing it, I did like it. I'm not saying I loved it to bits, but I was keen to try it more. And there is a solo mode. I have bought the game. I will review it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Burgundy is forever Feld's best.
Well, as I said, the Feld fans won't say there's a bad Feld. In fact, yeah, come on. You Feldites out there. Give me a bad Feld.
I have the deluxe Castles of Burgundy. And yeah.
What, the Awakened Realms one?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's a ridiculously overpriced game, but you still love Castles of Burgundy.
And and I have to say, I'm getting fed up with deluxe games
that are overpriced for the wrong reason.
That are overpriced for the wrong reason, and especially when they don't even bother telling me how to put my freaking game away.
Yeah, I mean, the Awakened Realms thing of Castles of Burgundy is one of the most pointless deluxe editions I've ever seen. There's no reason for it to exist.
It looks nice. I think the minis are waste of your money.
Yeah,
but to have the acrylic tiles is actually amazing.
But they could have. I mean, they tried this out before to make a deluxe Castles of Burgundy, and they somehow made it look worse.
Yeah, I had that copy. There was like, okay, so they set the hue on beige just a little bit, like 5% higher. Yeah. It was like, yeah, I need to have both of the boards together to compare. It was awful.
Better than Honeybuzz. Oh yeah, Appareet. No, actually, I'd rather play Honeybuzz, frankly.
We're all simping for Hilmar. Yeah, thank you, Johnny.
So another Tapestry. No, This one is unbalanced, I'll admit, Appareet, but it's not quite as well. I mean, there is that blatant aspect, but no, Tapestry is just flat out broken, unbalanced. I mean, Appareet does not need a errata within 2 weeks of its release, unlike Tapestry.
And then errata 2.0 and 3.0 and 4.0.
Yeah, and it's still not fixed. Yeah. No. Was Dead Reckoning at Essen? No, I did not see it.
Yes.
Was it?
Yes, it was at the AAG booth.
Oh, I didn't spot it there.
It was both for sale and for demoing. I didn't demo it, but I did see it. I mostly went for the AAG booth to complain about that they don't ship to Iceland.
Oh, right. I think I only went to AEG just to read the rulebook of Cascade Landmark, so yeah, that was about it, which I didn't buy in the end. I figured that I read the rules and I've listened to your quote in that. I don't think it would be quite as bad as what you're saying, but I think we already talked about this on the last stream, actually. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, if it's £30 is a lot for an expansion. I don't desperately need it. I think Cascadia is great as it is. Right. If I see it on sale, I'd grab it. But honestly, I don't think it's a necessary expansion. I think I'm booked in for Draft and Write Records at GridCon. Okay, cool.
Well, Johnny, I will play Draft and Write Records with you.
I'll try it by the sound of it. Sounds cool. Shame it's Kickstarter only. What's it called? This dice game? Maybe it's the No Kosu dice or something. Hang on, I can pretty much find out the exact spelling.
Becky, AAG told me that they are actually in process of fixing it, so hopefully in about 15 years we can
the Iceland shipping.
Yeah, the Icelandic shipping. Yeah.
No Kosu, so NOKOSU dice. You will not find this on UK board game prices at all. I've tried, it does not exist.
Which of the Essen games will we be talking about or play in 5 years? I can tell you, Apiary is not going to be one of them.
Hell no. If it is, I'll wait for the speed. I will literally pull a Farnsworth and be like, I don't want to live on this planet anymore, and then go back home.
I think Scholars of the South Tigris is going to be played. I think Ezra and Nehemiah is going to be played.
I don't think Ezra will. I haven't played it, but I don't know.
I did demo it.
We were talking about the religious theme of it, though.
Yes, that one is totally lost in the game. There is a religion theme, blah, 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 blah. This is a base Euro.
But a lot of people will not go near it necessarily for that
reason. Right, but I also tried...
Scholars, potentially?
What was the is it De Virgin... Jerusalem or something.
Right, I've not played that one, but yeah.
Right, I did play that at UK Gaming Expo. And that one has much, much, much more religious theming.
Oh god, yeah.
To the point that I was just like...
And I never see it played, so...
No, it was, it's a fun game, but I would have definitely not gone with that theme.
I'm going to look at
Asra has a little bit of religious theme, but that, for me, like I said, that got very much lost in just really clever mechanisms, and that one thing that Sam and Shem do that is actually
very nice people.
By the way, yeah, those were definitely one of the nicest people.
Yeah,
and Conor McCoy from Inside Out. We
met all three of them, and they are very nice people.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, I've not met them face to face properly, so it's good to see them outside of a cartoon avatar.
Right,
the thing I was looking up Architects and Paladins, 2018, right. 2019. So we're at that point where those are still being talked about and played in 5 years.
Yes,
Scholars, quite possibly. I mean, Scholars was a good game. There is a chance that will, just like Wayfarers, probably still be played 5 years. Fine. I mean, Garfield games have good staying power.
Yeah, they do.
Knowing my luck, probably Nucleum will be one of those. And the amount of people that went for it.
Nucleum, most likely Evacuation.
I'm not sure about Evacuation yet, because Underwater Cities is still the best thing that they've done as a pairing. There are people who play Woodcraft and Praga and Messina.
Praga is pretty high on everybody's list that plays a Suchi game. But I think
there's those people. I mean, I see Praga played every now and again. I see Woodcraft once in a blue moon being played. I don't see anybody play Messina anymore.
Well, then you're not at my house, because I've played Messina 10 times.
Messina, I don't see. I feel like I'm the only one who owned it in the UK. I've never seen anybody play it.
We played it a lot back home.
I don't think that will get up. Yeah, but fair enough. But I don't think that's any of those three are going to be 5-year talkabouts. Underwater Cities is already qualified for that.
Right, yes.
Age of Innovation, maybe, just because the Terramythical fans will keep it going. I mean, even though it's just a reprint, pretty much.
Ticket to Ride Legacy is going to be talked about in 5 years.
True, yeah, that'll be hard press for that not to be.
Yeah, no, I mean, judging on the Dice Tower review on it, and the fact that Tom just gave it a straight up 10, and I think it even beat out Clank Legacy for the top 1 spot
for his favorite.
favorites. Yeah. So I'm going to claim that is going to be talked about.
That will be. I am going to temper expectations because I know Tom absolutely adores anything Ticket to Ride related.
And he also loves legacy games.
Yes, but I will buy it when it comes out in retail about November time, which hopefully means we won't have to wait too long to play it, because then my Pandemic Legacy Season 0 group will finish hopefully soon.
Well, hopefully they will, jumpstart now and rush through it in order to get.
Well, I've told them
you're gonna have it dangling around.
I've told them. Well, I mean, we're in May. We're trying to get through 2 games a session that we meet, but we only meet fortnightly with this group. So if it's coming out late November, it's like it doesn't leave them a lot of time to hurry up and get their butts in gear. And this is assuming we keep winning games, which we're due for a loss because we've won the first 4. We won the prologue in the first 4 months consecutively, which means our funding level is down the toilet. So I'm expecting us to get creamed in the next one. But yeah, I suppose there may be a few, but I don't think there's that many. I think we've named most of them. Go for 15 years. Oh, that's your thing, right?
Right.
May have covered Have You Played Ceres? No, it is in me car and the expansions. I'm looking forward to trying it.
Me too.
And it is a review copy, at least the base game is, not the expansions. But yeah, I'm curious to see if Artipier pulled it off.
Do you think we will see more digital adaptations of Garfield games, as the Raiders of the North Sea digital version by Direwolf is one of the best digital adaptations out there?
It is a really good one, but the thing is that's the only one we've seen.
Yes.
They've had all the time in the world to do Architects and Paladins in my accounts, and they haven't.
I think if any, they would do Architects next.
Well, they probably have to, but the thing is they've had years to do it.
Right.
And the Raiders app is very, very good, but it's not a recent one.
No, it's not.
I'm not convinced there's going to be another app for a Garfield game.
Maybe didn't just sell enough.
BGA for definite, because I
Right.
think Architects and maybe one of the others or something is already on there. But I don't actually think there'll be another Garfield Games app. I'm not convinced.
Well, thank you for that, Paul. It's we find it also just fun.
Yes.
Banter around, almost past midnight.
Yeah. The top 10 thing is a definite there. People suggested we do one or something. We need a topic, and at some point we've got to do that on StreamYard properly with the setup properly done at home.
Sure.
All we need is a topic, and I can't think of many off the top of my head. Although,
okay, chat. What topic should we do?
One topic I definitely need to do with somebody, and I want to do it pretty soon, is I want to do a revamped top 10 gateway games list, but I'm restricting it to the last 3 years. Like, I am talking gateway games that you would easily say this is the 10 that new players need to play, but for a year. We're talking 23, 22, 21, maybe 20. I don't know. It depends.
Yeah, I'm most likely not going to be the best candidate for that.
Yes, I'm definitely going to do that with somebody, even if or I'm going to do it as a solo list. I don't know.
Right.
I'd rather do it with someone though, because I think it would be good to get 20 games, not just 10, on that topic.
Right.
Maybe all the board gamer may want to, because actually that might be a good one, because Brandon and Lexi, the two of them that do that one, we're due a list soon, and she wants to be on it as well. So there'll be 30 games.
That's good.
I'll have to ask them if they like that topic. But the thing is, I'm sick and tired of doing saying for gateway games, oh look, Catan, Ticket to Ride, Carcassonne, Splendor. Yeah, we know they're great gateway games, Sushi Go and all that. How about more recent stuff? And it's like the last 3 years, I can think of a good 3 or 4 that instantly pop to mind as like, oh yeah, these are benchmark gateway games. Right. Can I think of 10? That'd be something different.
Maybe not. Shem gave me a demo of Scholars. I think it might be the best Garpil game produced to date.
No. I did like it. I did a demo and I did enjoy it. I don't think at all it's going to be the best one. I mean, like I say, I've played it like part of a game, not all of it, and I did enjoy it, but it doesn't eclipse Architects, Viscounts, or Wayfarers for me. I think Wayfarers is still the better of the two out of this sequence.
Okay.
Mainly because I do prefer the sandboxy nature of it. The Scholars is a bit more restrictive. I'm just mainly glad that at the moment, from impressions, Raiders is the only one I like so far out of the first trilogy. And Viscounts and Architects are the two I like out of the second trilogy. I want this free for free.
Right.
Yeah, and so
you've said it before.
And so far it's 2 for 2.
Right.
So,
let the third one come out. They told me February to March.
Oh yeah, they always do that sort of thing.
But then they always fulfill in November, and they.
Oh yeah, we can trust them. Yeah,
we can trust them. They are one of the best production line ever.
Yeah, but I mean, I mean, Scholars. They say Scholars is good. It is a very, very dry one. It is all about color mixing, and that color mixing is a little bit fiddly sometimes. Like, I'm trying to remember, oh, hang on a minute, I need a red worker, so I've got to use this die, but this die and a worker. Right, now I make green and I can do this. So it's like, it's a little bit weird to get your head round, but certainly it's a decent, it was a good fun game. I'll wait for a solo games list before I offer myself. Yeah, fair enough. Top 10 humoristic, top 10 hilarious games. I mean, that'd just be party games for the most part.
Yeah, I'm not a good candidate for that either.
Yeah, I mean, Hilmar doesn't laugh. He's totally
right. No, but it would be more like top 10 some mechanism, or top 10 this or that theme.
That's for you.
That is for me. That would be where I would be the best candidate for.
Splendor mess. I have to admit, that's a pretty good.
Yes.
But a new gateway, no, because Splendor is a gateway game for a reason. This is Splendor with extra meat, which you don't want in your pastries.
Definitely not.
Not a gateway game. It's light.
It's light. It would be a next level game, but definitely not.
Believe me, and I say, I was just playing it downstairs with several people, one of which was struggling with some rules or taking it pretty slow. And I know she plays games, so it's not gateway level.
Right.
Did you pick up any Japanese or Korean publishers?
Unfortunately not, no.
I didn't pick up many because I didn't see many to know, and Coffee Rush had sold out. But Empress 4, I met up with them. We get on well. They recognize me. They gave me their new small one. I can't remember, Shadow House something. It's like a little 15-minute. It sounds interesting. It's a 15-minute find the culprit style card game that you play over multiple rounds, but it's like 15 minutes and each round is 5 minutes. I'm curious how that will work. Because it is Emperor S4, they do some really cool card games.
Right.
Taiwan Board Design have given me a game called Christmas, which I think is a reprint of a game called Christmas. It's a little card game. I didn't get Taiwan Night Market, unfortunately, because they couldn't really give it as a review copy, and I wasn't prepared to pay 50 plus euros for it. But they did give me something called Incense. So I've got a couple from them, but no, I don't have a lot of Asian stuff this year. No. Calico, a good gateway game. No, because Cascadia exists.
Right,
Cascadia killed Calico Stone dead.
Calico I've played Calico, it's fine, but it is very much AP prone and
it's just chaotic.
It's very chaotic, and it's, the theme. If you want to go to that, and if you want to find a nice theme that people can relate to, Arc Ravels. Have you played that?
Arc what?
Arc Ravels.
Ravels.
As in Ravels.
What does that even mean?
It's about knitting. It's a knitting game. It's an engine building game. You're gathering yarn to knit stuff for points and fulfilling orders, and it's.
I'll look it up in general because I've got a girl mate who's obsessed with this magazine she collects that has various embroidery stuff in it. She gets yarn. She is a knitter. She can knit and do sewing and stuff like that. It would be perfect to get her, even though she's a heavy gamer.
It is amazing lightweight game. That would definitely be a gateway game. It's from XYZ Productions or XYZ Games.
You guys say Coleco like the company Coleco or LE. I mean, is it actually Coleco or is it Calico? Because I've heard it pronounced both ways. And
Calico, yeah, maybe Calico, yeah.
I think Calico is the correct way.
I'm sitting with a Brit. I mean, my American accent goes away.
That's right. You're sitting with a Brit and you're from Iceland. Your American accent's gone by now. Bubblegate Zuli is a good gateway card game. Although, actually, I don't know. Zuli does have a few little intricacies in it. I mean, Sushi Go is a better gateway game than Zuli. Zuli's a nice little light game, but it would never be top 10. Cascadia kills Calico Stone dead. Keep the Heroes Out is a gateway game into Spirit Island. Spirit Island is one of the heaviest, most complex games out there. A gateway game into that isn't Horizons of Spirit Island is kind of weird. Arc Ravels, whatever it is. Lynn seems to agree with you on that.
Yes.
Munchkin, hell no. No way is that. And even then, that's more than 3 years old.
Right, and Munchkin is just a silly game. I will play it in a certain group.
It was fun when I was at university when I didn't know other games existed.
Right,
other than
exactly.
Citadels, apparently, but and Magic. Yeah, I mean,
Johnny, I get what you mean. He said
3 years,
3 years, but
I mean, it'd be something to do. But so you would want a mechanic or a theme?
Mechanic or theme, yes.
Any particular publisher or designer, maybe?
Well, I can.
Not Feld.
No. Why would I do a felt with you?
Well, that's what me.
Right, I would do that with Paul Crokin. I would never do that with you.
That would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Actually, but say now, you try doing that with a guy called Chairman of the Board or something in the UK or something. He'd have your head off. Yeah.
Right, wow, yeah.
Massive Feldite.
Right, yeah. He definitely is.
All right, so forget designer or publisher as a mechanical theme. I mean, is there a theme that you go mad for? Actually, it's difficult to do top 10 of a particular theme because
I would, it would be
top
10 worker placement, top 10 engine builders.
I've done worker placement at one point. Engine builders could work.
If heavy games, top 10 heavy games, everything from.
I think I've done top heavy in the last couple of years.
Okay.
Or like top 10 long, something like that. Right. I mean, worker placement is one. Engine builder could work. Tableau builder could work. Drafting could work. I've already done top 10 rolling rights. Rights, whatever.
Yeah, that would have actually been a nice collaboration for us to do.
If we'd done that at the time, that's already been done recently.
Yeah.
All right, so
Gloomhaven Gateway, yeah, right.
Gloomhaven. the Gloomhaven draws a line is not a gateway game.
No.
Like I said, he's doing entry games
and I love Gloomhaven. So but I would never take Gloomhaven out for a gateway game.
Yeah, I can't. Like I said, we'll come up with some idea, but it's definitely going to have to be mechanic related, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Unless I don't really want to do top 10 beige euros because I'm not sure I'd find 10.
Really?
Well, I probably would find 10, but I think we'd argue loads about what the definition of a beige euro is.
That would be actually interesting banter anyway. So
I know, but I would put games on my list that I feel like are beige. I mean, like technically something like Golem from a Newton from Cranial Creations. Both of them I'd probably consider to be the type of beige euro because they're dry as a bone. But Golem doesn't look like a beige euro. Newton does.
Right.
I suppose Newton would consider a beige euro, but. My list would probably be a little bit weird, jumbled up. Yeah, so it'd be kind of like that. But yeah, I mean, 4 days of course, yeah, knackered. Getting past midnight, probably have to wrap this up soon because I've got to get up early to drive Paul and we have agreed that 8 o'clock is pretty much the time we should be leaving, 8:30 at the absolute latest.
Oh, so you're waking up early tomorrow morning? I'm not going to be able to sleep in now?
No.
My train doesn't leave until 12.
Well, I've got to drive for 7-8 hours.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't get to sit on a plane in business class.
I'm not sitting on a plane. I'm taking a train to Lille.
Well, true, but eventually you will.
Yeah, that's...
At least you get to sit on the train.
Way back in the future.
At least you get to sit in the train.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, the Channel Tunnel is at 1:30. We've got to get 4.5 hours across the country, multiple countries, by then. We have to leave a little bit early, but it won't be too bad. You'll be able to lie in after I'm gone.
One thing that we could actually do, you're gonna do your top 100 soon, aren't you?
Not till January.
Okay.
Because I moved it to the new year when board gaming releases are dead.
We could actually collaborate on the last top 10.
What, your top 10 of all time?
Yeah.
I mean,
merged with you.
Yeah, could do.
That would be an idea. I mean,
it's a possible idea.
It is an idea.
It might be a little weird, sort of like doing the first 90 solo, and then all of a sudden the 10 is.
I can do the whole 100 with you. I do my top 100 myself, so. That would be a long video, though.
Well, I don't do 101 video. I do it.
No. I know. Wow. Yeah. No.
It would take a lot. I mean, it would take like 2 hours of vid. I mean, that would be a little bit extreme.
I don't know. Yeah.
As interesting it would be. I'm sure we could come up with some kind of a top 10 big box games. I don't know, something.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Top 10 big box games. That would be an interesting banter on.
Because we'd be saying that they're overpriced or overproduced and stuff like that, but we're basically talking games that come in a massive batch. Because I've done top 10 tiny games, and I've done value for money discussions and that. I don't think I've ever done top 10 giant big box games.
Let's do that. That's our top 10 list. Here we go.
Top 10 big bug games. Okay. Yep. Yes, and yes, I can think of a few that are on my shelf that qualify for that, certainly.
Right.
And obviously we'll have to debate amongst ourselves on what a minimum size is. But I mean, honestly, if it's one of those games that takes up the vast majority of a Calyx square, it's a big back game.
It definitely is.
At least 2/3 of a Calyx square would have to be it. Like, for example, I would not consider Star Wars Rebellion as a big box game because that takes up about half a Calyx square. It's basically their Fantasy Flights double ticket to ride.
Double ticket to ride.
Forbidden Stars, similar thing. They are big, but not oversized.
Once that would be considered to be a big box. Now it's considered to be like a medium size.
I mean, for example, even Deep Rock Galactic that I've got, I think the box is bigger than. I'd have to compare it, but I think that box is bigger than those games.
Right.
So that would have to be a minimum size. Would have to be something like Deep Rock.
Yeah.
Okay, that's got to be a good one. So, I mean, Kabuki is, as you said, Rebellion should be a big box game. I say it's. I mean, that would have to be the absolute bare minimum.
Yeah, we could debate both ways, but anyway, Kabuki, as much I would love to, that would not cut my top 10. A big box.
Yeah, I feel like that would just open up a whole new realm of Fantasy Flight games that were in there.
Yeah.
convenient box. I have got games in my collection that are far larger than that.
Right. So one thing to include or exclude. Lord of the Rings, the card game, because now it comes in a chest because
no, it doesn't count. Yeah, I've got games that take up massive crate things of that because I've got so much of it that I've shoved it in one of those and I regret doing it in all cases. But that's because of all the content that's been released to date. Now I'm talking about like your game when you got it on Kickstarter or bought it in the store or something like that. Maybe it had modules included, whatever, but the game that you buy in the shop or buy from Essen or something, is that the big box?
So it's not just a like Mansions of Madness or
well, Mansions of Madness again feels like the same size as the Rebellion.
Yeah. I mean, but because of all the expansions, it has
doesn't count if expansions make it multiple boxes. Yeah.
Okay, I'm totally fine. I'm just setting the line of what we're doing.
That wouldn't count. But then, like for example, like Voidfall lately comes in one box big.
Right.
Perseverance, even though it's technically 2 games, does come in one big box. You know, we are talking.
Okay, but we're
talking coffiny and
coffiny,
oversized.
But now I'm starting to agree with Kabuki. Let's set, Star Wars Rebellion size box as being because I have to fit Gugong in.
Gugong's not in the big box.
No, yeah, the big, massive deluxe.
That's the point. Are we going to include deluxe versions?
Of course.
All right. Okay. All right. So I was going to say that grab ball because, like I say, there are some oversight. Because, like I say, Castles of Burgundy: Awakened Realms is probably a big box game, but then the original one is far from that. So
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well. All right. Deluxified, over deluxified big boxes.
Over deluxified. Yeah.
A fair game. Okay.
Awesome.
Fine.
Yep. Cool.
That could be weird. My biggest box is easily Ogre. Oh god, yeah. I forget what Ogre is about. I think it's like a war fighty game, like with tanks or something. But I could be wrong. It's some war battle game. But yeah, Ogre's box is somewhat ridiculous.
Batman Gotham City Chronicles Season 3 that is going to be shipped. That is like 4 Calaxes.
I mean Frostpunk.
Frostpunk is big.
Yeah. Frostpunk is big if we're including Rebellion size boxes,
right?
Because you don't need the expansions to make that big. It already comes in that size box anyway.
Exactly.
And I'm not including the stupid iceberg thing, the iceberg box that came in. But yeah, I mean we'll have to see on that. I mean, as I say, at the end of the day, it's our list. We've got a bare minimum that it's got to be those. Whether I consider that to still be the case for my list, we'll find out when I try to make 10 items.
And then we banter about, the categorization anyway. So,
Yeah, it should be good.
Yep.
Like kids deciding how to play in the house or play house. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Well,
this is taking longer than the actual video to actually debate about it. But anyway, all right. Well, that's something for the future. But yeah, throat's starting to go. I need to get to bed.
And probably 90 minutes anyway. So
yeah. I said I was going to have a shower. It's too late now. I'm going to shower like hell tomorrow. But yeah, we need to get to bed and sort stuff out. So thanks for watching. Whether live or after the fact.
Yep.
Next time I appear on a stream will be Paul Grogan's one tomorrow.
Okay.
Because we'll do one at my house. So that'll be on his channel. And then after that, I'll get my button gear and start arranging some of these top 10 collaborations, or even just a Q&A, or like I need to get my StreamYard subscription used to make up.
And I will be live on Wednesday with my Essen haul.
Oh yeah, maybe I could do that. No, I can't do that as a light because the thing is, I have a zoomed out camera to see the table and all the stuff. I need that. My StreamYard is, me about this far. I can't keep holding stuff up to the screen like that. That's
right. Okay.
No, that won't be a.
I will do that just with my camera.
All right, but yeah. Sleep well, everybody. Yeah, and take care. Take care. We'll see you back in the UK or Iceland or wherever we're coming from. Really.
Yep.
All right. Take care, everybody.